Fender bender ends with shots fired.
One man is dead after a shooting involving an off-duty police officer. It happened this morning near 47th and Mill.
News Chopper 12 shows the aftermath of a violent Thursday morning near 48th and Mill Road. The police chief says an off-duty officer got into a minor crash with another driver. The two pulled over, and that's when Chief Jeffrey Norman says the driver pistol whipped that off-duty officer and both exchanged gunfire.
The tragic shooting of Elijah Wilks unleashed a firestorm throughout the country, with most people assuming that this was just another case of an unarmed, innocent black man getting gunned down by the police. This was the initial response after the news came out about the shooting.
I did not pistol whip nobody. It all happened so fast. Whatever injuries that they have, it did not come from Elijah. They were already so many feet away from each other.
It sounded like another situation of, from what I've been hearing, of a black man being killed, being shot too many times. I heard that his hands was up.
Oh, this is like a shock. I'm just still in shock and disbelief.
Tensions are high after a morning filled with grief and confusion.
I want to know, why did you kill him?
Next, I'm going to play for you the response of the family after they saw the actual dash cam footage.
The family of a man shot and killed by an off-duty Milwaukee police officer is speaking out in a way you may not expect.
We will acknowledge that we do believe that this officer-involved shooting was justified.
Early and often, Elijah Wilks' family and their attorney acknowledged the 26-year-old made a bad decision that resulted in his death Thursday morning.
Shout out to the YouTube channel, Nate the Lawyer. That's where I got the initial footage from. Make sure you check out his channel. But it's really unfortunate. Every time we're in a situation like this, when it comes to a police interaction, the rumor mill hits the street, and the first thing that we do is assume guilt on the part of the officer. Like, we don't even acknowledge sometimes, or many of us, the reality that we can do bad things. And I think there's some level of cognitive dissonance going on in our minds, where we understand that there are aspects of our community, just like any other community, that may have a tendency to do harm, to commit crime. And just like in law enforcement, I would dare argue that the vast majority of cops do their job righteously on a consistent basis, but we also have an element of the police community that do violate people's rights, that do hurt people, harm people. I wish that for those of us in the Black community as a whole, I wish we would stop responding with our emotions, and we would start using our head and waiting until we get the full story. Because how many times are we going to be fooled and manipulated by those who want to continue to divide us, many in the political arena, or many that hold to some level of a socialist Marxist concept or ideology, or even on a deeper level, those who are basically children of the devil. They want there to be hatred, strife between fellow image bearers of God, so that we're constantly fighting amongst ourselves, amongst each other. Let's go and actually watch the full footage. Again, these are just some of the specifics of the incident. On Thursday, October 9th, 2025, at about 8:30 a.m., an off-duty Milwaukee Police Department officer was involved in a minor traffic accident. And that video footage, that portion of the footage, will be in this clip. In the 48 block of West Mill Road, both cars pulled over, and the 26-year-old male driver of the second car, Elijah Wilks, was shot and killed following a brief confrontation and subsequent gunfire. That's Elijah in the car on the right. He makes
What are you doing?
He makes contact with the off-duty officer's vehicle. I'll pause the video throughout so I can point out some details. So I don't know if the off-duty officer has a vehicle where he has lights and sirens. I'm not sure. Or if he just pulled over because of the contact. I don't know the specifics to that. But let me back up just a little bit because we're going to really break this thing down. Now, first of all, if it's me as a retired cop, when I see Elijah get out of the vehicle, my radar is already going up because look where his right hand is. In his pocket. So let's rewind and back that up just a little bit. You saw where he hit him, but look what was in his hand. If you can make it out right there. Let me see if I can slow this down here for the speed. You can see his hand. He pulls out a pistol and smacks him in the face with it. You can see it right there. And so it's obvious that the off-duty officer was able to identify what he had in his hand. If you didn't see it again, let me back up just a tad. Many places you can see what he had in his hand. Just in case there's any debating. Right there. If you don't see it, didn't see it earlier, you definitely see it right there in Elijah's hand. He looks as if he's the first. Obviously, he was the first one to pull the weapon out because he pistol whipped the off-duty officer. So we'll go back to regular speed and we'll show the entire incident in real time. Back up just a little bit.
I'm in the fucking lane. Stay down on the ground. Don't move. Walk and sleep. Stay on the ground.
It happened fast, as most police shootings do. And the sad reality was Elijah asked for that. There's really no getting around that. I don't see how anyone could see otherwise. He initiated the contact by bumping his vehicle into the off-duty's vehicle and then having a confrontation with him, pistol whipping the man in his face and pulling out his gun, and he ended up getting gunned down. Now let's check out a bit more detail as to the family's response to this entire incident. So when you hear about a police shooting, a police incident, especially involving a Black person, what's your initial response? If you're a minority or whatever your ethnic group is, do you automatically assume that law enforcement is most likely at fault? Or do you assume if it's a Black man, do you think he or she might be at fault? What are your initial thoughts, or do you wait to see what really went down? Comment down below. I'd really love to know what your thoughts are.
The family attorney describing what they saw in that video today.
That's right, Blake, telling us that video came from the off-duty officer's personal dash camera. Now at a press conference, he got into detail describing the video, saying the officer did what he was trained to do.
He said the video came from the officer's off-duty dash cam. Imagine if that man would not have had a dash cam in his vehicle, what the uproar would have been. They would have found a gun at the scene, but people would have assumed that the cops planted it just to help their fellow white officer out. The mere fact that he had video footage in his personal vehicle that kept this incident from escalating, I believe, into something far worse. What are your thoughts on that?
Once we got an opportunity to actually see the video, there weren't many questions.
One day after an off-duty Milwaukee police officer shot and killed 26-year-old Elijah Wilks, Wilks' family and their attorney went before the cameras.
He made a decision that he should not have made, and that's just something we have to live with.
Milwaukee police showing Wilks' mother and attorney B. Ivory Lamar dash camera video from that off-duty officer's personal vehicle Friday, showing the moments before Wilks' death. It all started with a minor car accident near 49th and Mill Road. Thursday morning.
He kind of aggressively maneuvered into this left lane and essentially cut off the off-duty officer at that point.
The pair pulled over, and in describing the video, Lamar says Wilks got out of the car and pulled a gun.
He does slap the off-duty officer with the firearm, after which the video does depict Elijah pointing the firearm at the off-duty officer. The off-duty officer did respond, what we believe, in accordance with his training, and did fire off several shots.
Man, big props to the family for at least acknowledging the truth, because there have been too many times where I've seen people in absolute denial as to the facts that are right before their eyes. But you can see the mom, I think it was the mom, her response, she saw what it was. It's hard to deny the facts that are in front of you, to most reasonable people anyway. So I just want to give her big props. And I know it has to be hard knowing that your own family member was just gunned down like that. But that was big on her part.
The family's attorney says it's unclear to him if Wilks ever shot his gun.
I don't recall specifically seeing an exchange of gunfire.
Not that that matters. You point your gun after slapping somebody in the face with the firearm and then pointing it at them, you get what you got coming.
Fire. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I did see him point the gun in the officer's direction for sure.
That's my only sibling, my only brother. Like, oh, my brother was all I got.
Wilks' family grieving, but recognizing the consequences of his decision.
It could have been any one of us or any one of our kids, because we all are one seat away from making the wrong decision.
Yeah, certainly two emotions can be felt all at once.
I know it's got to be a tough situation. I wouldn't know how I would be feeling in that situation. But I'll tell you this, and I've told my kids this before, you get yourself in trouble, you do something dumb, don't look for me to bail you out or cover for you when you're out there breaking the law. It is what it is. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'd love to know what they are. But before you go, check out this video right here. I think it'll be very fitting to this discussion, and I think you'll get a lot out of it.